Hello my planner pals and welcome back, and if you're new here then thank you for joining me and giving me a try. My name is Di, I am here at Creative Karma Design and today I've got a tutorial for you. This might be a long one, so buckle in. So last month I did my currently page as a printable and I asked you if you wanted a tutorial for it and the resounding answer was yes please. So I'm going to show you a basic tutorial. I've already uploaded some photos, but we're just going to go and see how we go. All right, so we're going to come up into Canva. You're going to need to create an account, clearly, and first thing you'll do is create a design. Now, I just kind of look down here. Nothing there is what I want. I'm going to search for letter because I'm going to print on a letter size. So I'm just going to print letterhead or US letter document, doesn't matter. And then you will get your letter size 8.5 by 11. If you have a different size, maybe you're using A4, then you'll put in your A4 if that's the size that you're printing, but the rest of it will work exactly the same. All right, so we've got our letter document here. I'm going to come over to Elements, Lines and Shapes, and I'm going to put on this purple box. By default, mine end up being purple. I don't know why. I'm going to take the top dragger. I like to call this a dragger. I don't know what the technical name is. And you can see the little black box tells you the width and the height. I'm going to take this to 9.25 and I'm going to drag the sides out to 7 because that is the size of a classic Happy Planner. Now I'm going to have the purple box selected, come to position, center and middle is already selected. So that means that this is in the middle of this white page, right? Which is what I want when I am printing it. So I'm going to have, in the end, I'm going to have little cut marks in the corners here. That comes on all of my printables. So I'm going to come over again to Elements. I'm going to click Line. I could have also just pressed L. I'm going to drag that over into the corner. I'm going to use this slider on the bottom and come and have a close-up to see what I'm doing. Now, this line is a bit thick for me right now, so I'm going to come over to here, line style. I'm going to click line weight. It's going to be 1. So that's going to make it thinner. Again, make sure it's selected. Click line color, and I'm going to click this kind of medium gray color, and then put it right on the line of this top part here. Grab the end and then just shrink it down. You see that? So then I've just grabbed the end and just shrunk it down. I'm going to copy that and I duplicate it. I can just press duplicate here, or I can just Control D on my keyboard on a PC. I don't know what that is on a Mac. And I'm going to put that one there. So now I have cut lines for this line here and for this line here, but I need them on the other corners. So I'm going to select this one and this one. I'm going to group them together, Control G, or I can just press group here. I'm going to slide out again so that I can see what I'm doing. Again, I can just duplicate, Control D, drag that across, and then I'm going to use these little turny arrows and then just turn it 90 degrees. And now I have corner in this one as well. I'm going to do the same for the bottom and I'll be back in 1 second. All right, so that is all of my corners done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is at the front, because what I want to select are these corners. I'm going to group them all together and I'm going to lock them. I'm going to come up here. This says lock. You can see that? It says lock here. I'm going to lock those in place. So they're not going to move. So if I accidentally, end up clicking them, they're not going to move now. Whereas if I get this, this is going to move. But if I click this, those are not going to move. Those are locked on my layer, which is exactly what I want. So now I am going to temporarily lock this in place. This is my purple layer. And temporarily lock that in place, and then we can start on the actual page. Now, all I did was, I know that I like to have the month in this top left corner. That's my preference. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to just click April in there, graphics and see what sparks my fancy. I like this. This was the one that I used in my printable dashboard this month. I like this, but I don't like the hello. So what I'm going to do is to come up here to crop it, and then just bring that down and cut the hello off. Click done, boom, bring it up into the corner. I like that quite a lot. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the color as is right now. I'm going to change the colors afterwards once I figure out what I want to do. All right, the next thing I want to do is bring in the photos that I want to include on my Currently page. This is what my Currently page is all about. I like to memory keep on my Currently page. I've already uploaded my photos, but you're going to just click your uploads here on the left-hand side. These are mine already, but you can just upload. You can get them from your computer and drag them across. I'm going to upload a few of my photos from this month. And they're in no particular order, size, or whatever. Just going to drag those there. That is those. I'm just going to kind of move them like apart from each other so that they're not all on top of one another. I mean, look at that face. Yeah, so I've got one here of my legs because I had my brace off. I'm just going to crop it a little bit by moving the sliders, and that will be my focus here. I kind of feel that that kind of goes in there nicely, so I'm just going to leave that there for now. I may change the size. This was the series that I've just finished watching, and obviously Ted Lasso and Grimm are two others. So I'm just going to, again, I'm making them all kind of fit into a little, can you see how they're like, they fit together there in a little square? Again, I'm going to group those together so that now when I move these are in a group because these are kind of like a cluster all on their own. I'm just going to move them to one side. Okay, and then I've got these. Again, I'm just dragging, cropping, making things a little tighter. This one I've got a lot of white space there. Don't need that little bit there. And then this one I can just crop the ends and make it more square. This I feel is more of a focal point than this one, right? And make this one a little bit smaller. Okay, the other thing that I need to be aware of is that my discs are going to punch into this right side. So I'm going to bring in a guide. So you come to your ruler on the left. If you click, you'll drag this ruler across. So I know that my line is here. I want it at least a 1/4 inch in from here, actually, just to where that top picture is on the right. So I'm going to move everything across a little bit so that I allow for discs on this right side so that nothing's going to get punched right into that corner. All right, so I'm kind of happy with how these look. Okay, now because this background is purple, I'm going to click it, I'm going to unlock it, and then I'm just going to delete it. Okay, now what I want to do is I like to have some kind of background on these. So again, I'm going to come over to Elements, Lines and Shapes. I'm going to pick a square. Doesn't matter that it doesn't fit, quote, fit right now. And I am just going to pick a square there, select it, position backwards. Now again, I need to make sure that I've got space for my discs and space for some text. Select, duplicate. I'm going to again take this one because this is another little, I'm going to call it a little story all of its own. Again, we're just playing right now. This is not the final thing. This will be another one. and then this will be my third, fourth. I can't count. So this is my first mock-up. I mean, it looks very blocky, but we're going to go with it for what it is right now. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to think, I like this, but I think I need it more peachy, this color. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click this pinky peach. I'm just going to slide it until it makes more of an orangey color. I'm just going to slide around until I feel like I get something that looks right to me, which I think is that. Because I know that my facing page, my divider that's on the right, has yellow, peach, pink, purple, blue, teal, and green. So I can use all of those colors, but I could also use any of the colors in the photographs. But I kind of like that. So we're going to go with this. So I'm going to put some text straight in this little bit here. So I'm going to click T, drag it up, drag it to the width of that little bit, and then I'm going to put my text in here. I'll be right back. All right, so this is my text, and as you can see, I've got more text than I have box, so I'm going to have to move things a little bit, which is fine. That's what it's all about. It's about moving things around, right? All right, so I'm going to move this one down a little bit, just so that it's not interfering with this one. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to put a little box in there and make this a little smaller than this beige box, and I'm going to put the text in just here, just like I did here. What I tend to do is just copy this, Control D, put that in there, and then highlight the text, delete it, and then start again. All right, so that's that one done. I'm going to move those over a little bit. Again, just little tweaks, little tweaks. So I'm just moving that up a little bit so that these two boxes are level here at the bottom. Again, that's just my preference. I'm very type A personality sometimes. So I've got this here. Now I'm going to do exactly the same thing and put a little text box in here. Control D. And then I know I've got just a little bit of text that I want to put in here. So I'm going to do that, put my journaling in, and I'll be right back. All right, again, I've got more journaling than I have space. So I'm going to have to move some of my stuff around a little bit, which is fine. Just moving things around. Again, there we go. So now I want another little text box here. I'm going to take this again, Control D. Now this time, because I've got this weird little bit, can you see I've got like a bit here where if I put the text in here, it's going to be right over this photo. So all I'm going to do is come to the edge and then just press space. Just press space until I get to that bit, and then start my journaling. All right, again, you can see that I just need to make a little adjustment here. I think I'm just deciding what I want to do with, funnily enough, with the boxes. I think I'm just going to select these and then just take them across a little bit so that everything's to the right of this kind of guide where I did it earlier. All right. I've got options. I can select this brown box and I can change the background. Like I could do it blue, I could do it again this peachy color, I could do it green. What I think I'm going to do for this month is something a little bit different. I'm going to do it white, but I'm going to do a border around the box. So I'm going to come up to, so I just selected the color there, white, this little line here, it's got the border. I'm going to select the border color and do it the same color that April is in. And then the border width, I think I'm just going to do 1. I just think I want a small border. Yeah, I think so. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing to this one. I'm going to do exactly the same to these. All right, I kind of like that. This just needs moving a little bit just to get things more in place. For some reason, this is not lining up. I need a better look. So I'm going to use the slider, come in close and have a little look. Yeah, this needs moving up. This needs moving. There we go. That's better. Again, I want that edge to line up with here. So I'm just doing a little. This one, I'm going to move back because can you see? I can see that corner here. I don't want to see that. That's kind of ugly to me. I'm going to take that position backwards. Yeah, now it's gone. Perfect. I'm going to move this. There. I think this just doesn't seem to want to line up. Again, I'm just adding spaces from this, just using the space bar. Yeah, there we go. That's better. It's not as, I don't know, it's not as weird. Not as weird. All right, so I think that is my page. Again, this could be a color. I could just do that as a color if I wanted to, but I'm feeling very minimalist right now. So I'm just going to go with this. And again, if I wanted this to be like a color, let's say I did that black, then the text I could change to white instead. I could do that, but I think I'm going to have it how it was and just go very, very minimalist and just use the text and the lines. It's just that some of the lines are not lining up. Can you see that? Can you see that? That's not lining up, and that bugs me. So I have to change that. I have to change that. I cannot let it go. And I think that is it. So I'm going to print this off. So again, to print it off, all you're going to do is share it, which you're not sharing it, you're just downloading it. Download. You're going to come to PDF, and you can do standard or you can do for printing. I'm actually going to do for printing. And then you just download it. So find where your folder is, find where it downloads into. Mine is in here. It's going to open right here, and then I am going to print this off, and I will see you at my craft table. All right, and this is the finished result, which I absolutely love. And again, I chose the peach because it kind of matched this. I love it. This is a much easier way for me, again, your mileage may vary, for me to do a currently page. It's just so much easier to just put everything into Canva and then just print out one page than it is to print out the images like I was doing before and then make them fit. It just is so much easier. So that is the way that I'm doing it from now on. All right, and then all I have to do is cut it at the cut marks, punch it, put it in my planner. All right, and that is my currently page. Pardon the glare, photo paper. But yeah, that is my currently page. I love it. And again, for me, that is much easier. And I kind of like just taking one color from here and bringing it over. That is my kind of currently page. Quick for me. Easy, it's got the highlights that I need, and it's just fun. Just a fun way of doing it. If you have any questions about the process of Canva, etc., and you have something that you want answering or you have a question, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time, my planner pals. Bye!